Well, hello everybody. My name is Brian and welcome to P.B.M. Money Video. Today I want to talk about the different ways you can build your net worth. So let's start with what is net worth. Net worth is when you add up all of your assets, that's the good stuff, and you subtract off the liabilities, everything that you owe. The difference is your net worth. And some people might have a negative net worth. Why is it important? When you go to the bank to get loans, they want to see as much net worth as possible. The bigger your net worth, the more risk the bank is willing to take on you, because they know that if you default on your loan, they've got assets they can go after. So it's important to build your net worth. Now, the basic concept of building your net worth is first list all of your assets and do the best you can with them. Then take your liabilities, that's everything that you owe, and examine each one of those. How can you cut it? How can you get rid of it? And here's an interesting thing that is still open for debate among investors. And that is, if you have a liability that is on an appreciating asset, should you pay it off? My opinion is that depends on the interest rate. As an example, I bought a property in 2019 where the interest rate on that loan is 3.85%. Inflation right now is running 10%-ish. So that means my property is appreciating 5 to 10% per year, and I'm only paying 3.5% on that money. Why would I pay it off? I take the money that I would use to pay that house off and reinvest it. It depends on your viewpoint and what you want. There is another personal finance person that says you should have no debt at all. Pay cash for your houses, pay them off when you can. Well, I mean, okay, but if you have a YouTube channel that's making a lot of money and you write books and you do consultations and you have a ton of cash coming in, that's easy to say. But for the average person that's starting out, if you can make money using other people's money and the spread is good enough, I say keep the liability and use your cash to reinvest and build. Now, the assets that you should concentrate on building when it comes to net worth, the first and easiest is cash. Benjamin Franklin said a penny saved is a penny earned. That's true. Save every penny you can, and every penny that you save is going to be reflected in your net worth. The one that I concentrate mostly on is real estate. Real estate appreciates somewhere between 4 and 8% per year and has for almost ever. I mean, yes, there's been crashes, but it always comes back. So I concentrate on real estate. There's another one, a lot of people, and I do push this one also, and that is to invest in the stock market. Now, I would not pick individual stocks. I would use an index fund, preferably an S&P 500 index fund. And you can find those at any financial place online, like Fidelity, Vanguard. But if you consistently invest there, dollar cost averaging, the S&P 500 index fund has averaged a growth rate of 8% per year for the last 30 years. That's a pretty sound investment. Another one would be your personal business. If you have a business, or you're going to start a business, you should concentrate on keeping the liabilities, the debts as low as possible, and increase your business as much as possible. And I know that that's easy to say, but for those of you that are in business, that's a daily struggle. but it pays off in your net worth. So now for me, when I do the real estate, there are certain things that I do to increase my net worth on the property. First off, when I purchase a property, I try to get it as a deal. Then I go in and I upgrade the property. This last little house we did some work in the basement. We put some flooring in. We painted half of the place. We put gutter extensions on, gutter guards, so new carpeting. We upgraded the property, and within 30 days, we had increased the net worth of that property by 20 grand, just from doing those little things, and it probably cost me 5 grand. Now, we started a program this year that we're going back over our properties. We're doing 1, maybe 2 per year, and we're going to upgrade the exterior of the properties, because most of them, when you buy investment properties, they're not very attractive from the outside as a general rule, and that's fine. So we are going to go back and paint, landscape, upgrade driveways and window coverings so that it has a bigger curb appeal. Again, the first one we did this year, we increased the value of that property by about $15,000 to $20,000, and it cost us about $2,500. So we're building net worth. We're going to do that property by property. It's also important when you are in real estate and you're buying properties that it cash flows. Now, I know that in the hot markets in California and New York, it's hard to find properties that cash flow, and I get it. But if you're going to invest in one that is not going to cash flow, then you need to buy another one that is going to cash flow. Because how many properties can you buy that are not going to cash flow? How deep is your pocket? If you buy the property that is going to cash flow right off the bat, and then you upgrade the property and increase the rent, now you're making more cash. That cash you take and reinvest in either the S&P 500 or more real estate. Now, when it comes to debt, I have a basic rule: no monthly bills. None. If you have credit card debt, concentrate on paying that off. Now, again, there are other YouTube places, personal finance places, that say concentrate all your effort on paying off your debt. I disagree. Let me give you an example. If you took half of your money and put it towards your debt, and the other half you saved to buy real estate, which I did, and then you buy the piece of cash flowing real estate, and then you take that money and you divide that in half, and half now goes towards your debt and half towards buying another piece of real estate. And then you do it again. By using that method, I paid my car off early, I paid a personal loan off early, and I have no monthly bill. Now, it took me 4 years to do that, but in 4 years, we're now cash flowing a lot. And we have 6 properties. Net worth is important. Building net worth is critical. How are you going to measure if you are a millionaire or not unless you keep track of your net worth? And I'll tell you just one little thing before I go. I watched a video one time that I think his name is Financial Bro or something. He's a great guy, and I love his content, and he said know your numbers. Well, I thought I knew my numbers until I sat down and I inked them all out. I did not know my numbers. So what I've decided to do is I keep track of my numbers on a quarterly basis. That means each quarter I take my real estate listings or holdings and increase them by 1%, because Zillow, I got the number 4% per year from Zillow. So 1% per quarter, my assets increase. I keep my liabilities on the properties the same, but every January I'm going to go in and get the payoff on each and every mortgage note. I have found that if your assets appreciate 4% per year and your mortgage debt decreases by 2% per year, your net worth is increasing 6% per year without you doing anything. Plus you add cash, plus you add your other investments. When you go to the bank to get a loan, your net worth means a lot. So to learn your numbers, to monitor your numbers, and to build your numbers is going to be critical to building your wealth. That's about all I want to talk about. You have yourself a great day, a great week, and happy investing.